Good morning. It is a beautiful day. We just recently got back from a week-long trip. We did 4 rescues across the state of Colorado. Halfway through those rescues, the wrecker started to come apart.
I'm glad I looked. Yeah, look at this.
And it's not coming apart in a good way. We had to stop multiple times and weld it back together, and we did it in a kludged way. So what's happening here is like the bolts broke. Actually, let me put it on the whiteboard for you. But first, we got to get this unloaded. So we've recently done a lot of maintenance items on this, like change the oil in the differential and change the oil in the hubs. We put new limit straps on. We've been trying to fix an issue with the master cylinder and the parking brakes. I think we went the wrong direction. I'm gonna show you why on the whiteboard, and it almost got us in trouble.
What just happened?
Woo. Time to get some stuff fixed here. But that's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is back here. What's up, Christopher?
Hey, what's going on? Saving the wrecker. I can't wait to bring this thing back.
Looking at the damage.
Yeah, that was an incredible trail fix y'all did.
That's a ton. You know, the whole time I was just thinking, like, I'm in the counter, it's counting down. Like, I don't know where 0 is, but we are counting towards it. Skull and crossbones. Right there?
Uh-huh.
We're here.
Okay, good to know.
The good news is I salvaged a railroad spike off the trip. I'm gonna make you a cool knife or something out of it.
Yeah. This bolt is gone.
Yeah, I seen that. That was totally
It's
gone.
completely gone. Broke.
Nothing
It broke
left of
one
it.
more time and fell out.
That was the head of it on that
Yeah.
side? Yeah. That's why I thought I seen a head there when you guys were welding it up the last time.
Ugh.
So there's nothing even in that side whatsoever.
That makes it nicer to take apart, I think.
Yeah.
So these links have 2 jobs. One of the jobs is the torsional loads from the axle, from driving and braking. The other load they have is the side-to-side load. So they're a triangle, there are 2 triangles, and with all 4 links in here, that locates the axle so it can't go side to side. This thing is just relentlessly side to side counting. Look at those things move.
Axle staying put, the whole chassis and body side to side.
And that's 100% from those 2 rods there. Those 2 links just being able to move, because they're not pinned in anymore. Oh, that is terrifying.
That's where the bolt used to be, where he just stuck his finger. If you get, and it was what size was that bolt?
The
in
3/4 inch bolt.
3/4 inch bolt in there.
I don't know if we even have 3/4 in here, do we? Yeah.
Yeah.
One of these.
So yeah,
It did make it through the jobs though.
a little bit of welding, a little bit of extra metal, worked out.
Yeah. If we did nothing, we'd be on the trail up there today.
Yeah.
Onboard welder saved the day.
Well, that's what I was saying. I was like, who the heck we even call if the whole rear end falls out of this thing to get it out of there, drag it out of the top of the mountain?
Have to call Murphy or
Murphy.
Rory or...
Roy could get it done in a pinch, but this thing is heavy.
Today's video is sponsored by One Wheel. One Wheel is all about getting outside, having an adventure, getting some exercise, getting some fresh air, and getting away from that gaming console. Plus, you're developing a skill and increasing your balance, plus your spatial and situational awareness. So the one I have right here is the Rally XL, and it is a beast of a one wheel. It is for more uneven terrain, off-road, up hills, down hills, all that stuff. You should see my kids on it. I've also been trying to learn how to ride it. I'm no good at this, but my kids are. But I am starting to get the hang of it. What's great about this is how compact it is. You can throw it in the back of the truck, back seat of your car, trunk of your car, whatever, and it's there when you need it. If this gets you all fired up, head over to onewheel.com, pick up this Rally XL. So when you get to checkout, there's a slot where it says use the promo code. Just type in Matt sent me. That code will get you a free board stand on any one wheel purchase. It does exclude the base model, however. Don't forget to add that board stand to your cart so you make sure and get it. Come here, get up here. Yeah. Yeah, I missed you. Yeah.
Lady's like, what about me?
Lady, yeah, we missed you. You're looking good. Ed's not feeding you too much anymore. You've been on that Sundays for Dogs, and that's been helping out a lot. I called Rudy and ordered parts like the second we saw this happening. So Rudy got those ordered in. We have got a lot of work ahead of us just cutting this mess out.
Peanut's gonna supervise.
What you doing up there, Peanut? I'm gonna go it up a little bit. Christopher's getting us a couple more blades. These ones are pretty tough blades, but they're not a metal specific blade. It's like wood with nails in it kind of blade.
It's actually pretty impressive for cutting through weld, because weld's
Yeah,
a lot
weld's
harder.
hard. We'll let that cool off. Let's keep from overheating the blade. We'll probably cut it off on the inside on both sides and then take the whole bar out and then see what we got. Let me show you what's happening here. I wonder if I've got any markers that are any good still. Oh, I stole some out of the break room. Remember? That's the old coolant diagram.
If you haven't seen that video, go check it out.
All right, I'm gonna draw this on the whiteboard, but I'm gonna show you the pieces as I draw them. So we're drawing a cutaway view of this thing this way. So we have a ball with a hole through it, and it's machined flat on the sides. Look how this is gonna be like to scale. And then these are the misalignment spacers that go in right here. And you can see how they work. When I say misalignment spacers, it allows us to twist all the way like that. Let me show you in real time what a high misalignment spacer is. So if you just put this in there like that, it can only go to there before it hits. That's as much motion as you can get out of it. Have a high misalignment spacer on there. You get full range
Of your ball.
Yep, so that's why you put those in there. So this is in here like this, and it comes in here. There's another one in here. Okay, we'll keep this like this so the bolt can get through there. So here's a 3/4 inch bolt through there like that. That's where that would go. Of course, the bracket that this connects to right here, cut the hole in there so the bolt can get in it. All right, the skinny bolt we're gonna put in there. Okay, then we got this bracket right here, and then we'll change a different color. We'll put the bolt through here. And it went all the way through here and bolted everything together with a nut right here on some threads. So that was how that was supposed to work. And then somewhere in here, and I'm suspecting the end of the threads are probably here. I'm suspecting that they broke in that area.
Would make sense.
And then this thing backed out. It backed out like 1.5 inches before we saw it. And then at that point, there's been some swedging or galling or something, because we hammered on that thing forever. We even welded a bar out so we could get a lot of pressure. It's not coming out. But the disappointing part is that's probably the end of the bolt right there. And then probably the end of the bolt right there. Which means we're 100% depending on the shear of this, and it's not even good shear because we have so much bending forces out here. That's why we welded the end of the bolts, was to stop the bending forces, and we ended up welding the whole middle together for strength, and that's why I believe we were able to complete the jobs and get off the mountain. Now we got to take it all apart, but this is what we're going to be cutting through. So this is right under there, so that bolt is going through there. So we're going to cut the outsides off, we're going to cut the insides off, and then we're going to have to cut down each side, which would be through here and here, and just take it out in pieces. So hopefully Christopher's getting us an enormous amount of Sawzall blades.
Meanwhile, I love this car.
Yeah.
Looks like Higgins.
You get the idea.
So this engine had over 500 foot-pounds of torque when it was new. Let's just calculate it at 400. 400 foot-pounds of torque times first gear trans ratio times the doubler, which is 262 or 272, times the SCS box, which is 2.78, times the final drive ratio of 565, we end up with around 80,000 pound-feet of torque at the rear end. That's not even calculating torque multiplication from the torque converter. Holy smokes, that's a lot of twist. When the wheels are going forward, this case has an equal and opposite reaction of trying to twist backwards. So let's see what this looks like. We have a link that's connected here that goes to the frame of the vehicle, and we have a link that's connected here that goes to the frame of the vehicle. We're not looking at the triangulation right now, we're just looking at the links. So there's two of these on the top of the axle, two of them on the bottom of the axle, and they are responsible for reactionary torque loads. So if this is pulling this way with 80,000 foot-pounds of torque, what do you think's happening here? That load is going into tension here, so this top rod is getting pulled apart, and this bottom rod is getting shoved together, equal and opposite of that load. Now we have some levers here, so there's gonna be different ratios. The further you get these apart from the center of this, the less load that's on them. The closer together, the more load that's on them. But it doesn't matter the exact number, we just know that it's an enormous amount of load. So we have 4 bolts on the axle this size that are taking all this reactionary load. Now they're not taking it in shear unless they loosen up, because there's those clamping forces that hold it together. I don't want to get into all of that. I'm not going to make a video about it. You'll either understand it or you won't. Let's just say that. What has happened is these pins have sheared on the top there, and I've always been going to replace them. Like way back when we put these in, I ordered the right bolts to fix it, and then I just never did.
That's that temporary permanent.
Yeah, it's temporary unless it works. So that's what we're dealing with, is those loads. So let me show you the other loads these have to deal with. Here's the axle. There's a differential in the middle of this thing. We're looking down at this from the top, okay? So we have a link that goes here, a link that goes here, and then underneath we have a link that goes here and a link that goes here. That's called double triangulated link system there. I don't know why they call it that. I'm not seeing it. But let me tell you how this works. If the axle tries to slide this way, it puts a load this way on this one. It puts a load this way on this one, puts a load this way on this one, and this way on this one. And it's quite a bit of load. So this pin is trying to shear this way, this pin is trying to shear this way. I know the hexagons are the bestagons, but the triangle is the strongest shape you can make. The simplest, strongest shape you can make with straight lines. As long as you're pushing or pulling straight down those lines, super strong. Not so strong this way, but very strong this way. I clarified that for all you chicken egg farmers. And then you can see that if the axle goes this way, everything changes. So these are constantly dealing with rotational loads and then shearing loads from side to side, whatever you want to call that. And that's how the rear suspension and front suspension on my wrecker works. Hopefully that's a boring fact that you found a little bit interesting. Let's get back to working on it. I have a message for all our military friends. The Smash and Dash 250 is coming up October 9th and 10th. Whether you're active or retired, if you buy a 2-day pass, you are getting 50% off. We've got a car show, a demolition derby. We've got the cheap and lazy 180, plus the Ford Fantastic Ranger race. You can try your hand at off-roading if you've never done that. Mad Moose is gonna be there with her Polarises. Between the drifting, the go-karts, and the meet and greets, there is plenty to do. So while I'm grinding, I'm going to show you some of the abuse that this rear axle suspension system has been subject to since we built the wrecker. And it is not a little.
Oh yeah. Oh, man.
Piece number one. It's quite a
Not
bit
too
of,
bad for some Harbor Freight blades. So the next stage is to get this flat.
all smoothed out.
Well, hopefully there's a shortage of Sawzall blades now.
There he is. Got the beefy ones. Thick metal.
Nice. Looking pretty good. What are you doing?
Fixing a very big problem.
We sheared both of these pins.
Wow, you're sharing.
And we were able to weld them and keep them together. They sheared, but they wouldn't come out. So they're just loose. So we've got to cut a lot out.
Sharing pins left and right.
Yes. So what we're gonna need is, see that wire hanging down there? It connects to this wire right here, but it had the same problem. They
Oh,
pull out.
But those
So
are
I-
the good ones.
Yeah, but if you put a come along on there, they'll pull out.
Oh yeah.
So I want those hardwired in, since we don't take the axle out every year.
Until you do.
I don't know if these are going to be easier to cut right now. The problem is getting the Sawzall in there with this bar in the
Linking
way.
Yeah.
So the question is, do we rock these bars out so we can go side to side, or do we try to work around them?
I think if we come in parallel underneath this bar from the back, we got room to get the Sawzall in there.
This is what it looks like.
I think we got room to get in there.
Let's try one really quick. Right there, okay. Okay, go ahead and jack this jack up. Okay,
There
that
goes.
good.
It's out.
Okay, grab that, Rob, or somebody.
Got a
Okay, I need
hold of
pry
it.
bar.
Links out.
All right, gently pull.
One out.
That thing is heavy. It's like a
Well, you
workout.
said, gotta put a, did you see the whiteboard, how much torque that thing takes?
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
Oh yeah, nothing left of those misalignment spacers. So
There wasn't much in there.
one of them was broke right in half.
See, the misalignment spacers
Oh.
are broke. They're sheer. That's why it looked like I just cut through it, but I didn't. It was
just
just already
actually
broke.
broke.
This is coming apart significantly easier than I thought it was going to. Like, it's not even close.
Thought for sure we'd be cutting for hours and hours, and it's been what? Hour at most
Yeah.
since we've been working on it.
Okay, I'm gonna try to cut that other side. So you can see both of these sheared off. When I knew we were gonna have some sort of a meat sandwich in there, that is a mess. It's a hamburger. It's a raw hamburger sandwich in there. Once again, this is what it's supposed to look like, and this is, you know, broken off of there, right there. Well, whatever. I've got to get this fixed. We've got to get the parts in here. I don't have time to be doing this right now. I will see you on the next one, and thank you so much for watching.